Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back again for another week. 4 comics this week. What was that? 3 from my pull list. 1 I pulled off the wall, and man, the summer light is gone. It's 6:30 p.m. and it's also overcast out there. But I lost my nice summer light I used to have in here. Now I got these lights shining on me. But let's show you what I got. We'll start with comic shop news. Looks like we got some James Bond stuff here this time. Greg Pak takes on Oddjob with new Bond series. There you go. James Bond 00. I haven't read any of these James Bond series, so I can't tell you if they're good or bad. I read in my youth, when I was in high school, I read all of the Ian Fleming James Bond books and liked them. I think they all came from the 60s. They didn't start new James Bond books till like the 80s with a new author, and I didn't like those very much. And I was never a huge fan of the movies either, but those original Ian Fleming James Bond novels, they were good stuff. Marie Severin passes, Rust Heath passes, Barry Friedrich passes, and Norm Brayfogle passed this week. So, boy, a lot of deaths in comics. Anyway, there you go, a little bit of comic shop news to show you there. Let's see what we got next. What's in our pile? They're in no particular order. I just dropped them down here. Ooh, The Wicked and the Divine. This one is 1373 AD. This is one of the, is not in the regular Wicked and Divine series. Matter of fact, I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, in that I don't always remember to order these. I generally like, except the last one was terrible. The last one, 1923, was written in a 1920s or F. Scott Fitzgerald style, and it wasn't really a comic book. It was an illustrated, and I didn't like it very much. But the other ones I've liked. So we'll see. This is our when our gods came back years and years earlier. This is kind of what happened to them, or often how they ended. And it's usually not by. Ryan Kelly is the artist on this, not what's his name, Jamie McKelvey. He's the usual artist. So you know, just another one shot. I think they put out 5 or 6 of these. They're all pretty decent, so I enjoy them. Let's see, what else do we have here? Cemetery Beach. I passed on this last week just because I hit the top of my budget for comics, but I only had 3 in my pull list this week. This is by the, and I heard a couple of good things about this. I think Sleepy Reader may have tweeted that he liked it, and I don't know, somebody else maybe. So I was like, all right, we'll give it a Warren Ellis and Jason Howard. Oh, I think it was Oddfellows Thoughts also got this, because I mentioned him that these are the guys who did the unfinished series Trees. Well, they're supposed to be finishing Trees after this is done. Warren Ellis has a email newsletter you can sign up for if you go to his site. So which I signed. Sunday he comes up with an email newsletter, tells you everything he's doing, and said, you know, we're gonna get Trees done after this 5-issue series, I think it is, Cemetery Beach. So I figured I'd pick up this issue and see how it is. What else do we have here? Oh, Wayward, issue number 29. Last issue was very good, and they always give you the reverse on the last issue was very good. It was an all battle issue. As our this guy right here is it some sort of giant monster that this guy created and just ripped one of our characters in half. So I don't want to ruin too much by looking ahead, but we'll give you a quick look. Oh no, someone got stabbed. Can't see that. But this is the old gods are finally striking back and getting into a battle with the new gods, and they were bringing their political might to heal too. And some of the Japanese conventional forces were fighting the new gods too over the last few issues. But who is this? I think it's our Cat Lady Reborn. I think, I'm not quite sure what happened. A few issues ago, the new god, who was like a cat spirit somehow, was sacrificed in Ireland, but then an old lady last issue was reborn as this young woman, and she had cats around her. So So I don't know if it's the same cat person or a new cat person or I don't know what, but last issue of Wayward was excellent. I hope this issue is just as good too. And the final comic we got for the week, it finally came in for me. Hillbilly, Red-Eyed Witchery from Beyond, part 1 of 4, which I don't think is drawn by Eric Powell. Art by Simone DeMeo. I didn't even know this was coming out. Someone mentioned it a few weeks ago when it was supposed to be out. And also Dave, who worked at my comic shop, said I have an issue of Hillbilly coming in for you next week. It's taken 3 weeks to come in, but I didn't even. I guess they're just making a Hillbilly miniseries. I'll check it out. Hillbilly, the regular Eric Powell series just ended an arc and has been really, really good. It's only gotten better, so we'll see if this is as good with someone else drawing it. But what the heck? 3 weeks late, but I still got it. And now we'll show you. Actually, we'll show you little art supplies I got. Hold on a second. I also stopped at AC Moore to buy some of these frames. I'm going to make some photographs for my sister's birthday. I often, I have old family photographs from my mother that I got all her negatives on, and some older even family photographs than that my mother's been doing our family tree for years, so she collects old photographs too. And I take them and I make them all fancy and artsy and give them away as presents. So I had to get some of these. These frames aren't very expensive, so they make good presents. And I also got with these frames, where is it? Hold on, probably at the bottom. I got 5 of these frames. These frames are only $2 a piece, so they won't break the bank. And when you're given a lot of photographs, you need some cheap frames. Here it is. One magic marker I got. Dun dun dun. I love magic markers. Usually I'm a Copic marker. What is this? Premiere by Nicole Sketch Marker. Dual tip, alcohol based. Usually I'm a Copic marker, guys, and I like them because Copic markers are expensive at $6 or $7 a marker, but then you can buy refill for the Copic markers. This is another 6 or 7 markers, but it's another $6 or $7, but you can refill the marker 10 times with it. So you end up getting, if you spend $12 to $14 on one marker, you end up getting 11 markers. So it's a lot of money up front for just a marker, but with these refills, the Copic markers get cheap in the long run. This was a $4 marker that I had a half off coupon for, so it ended up being a $2 marker. It's got the brush tip on one end and the chisel tip on the other end. I'm not a big chisel tip fan. I like the brush tip. And I just want to try. I just like trying out markers. So they have sets of them. I think this is the AC Moore House brand now. And alcohol based, can smell it. So I just wanted to try out a new marker just for the heck of it. So I bought that one. It was only $2. And this is the latest large ink drawing. I use some marker in this too, like for these straight lines and curved lines. I edge them with a marker. But this is one, look at that. No marks on her face. That's what made this one too. All the marks are surrounding her. And this was a drawing I originally did years and years ago as a pencil on canvas drawing, a small 8x10 drawing. I decided I wanted to blow it up and redo it and redraw it. And all this stuff in here wasn't the same. This is bigger, you have to add more stuff and do stuff. But yeah, there's that one. Nice big ink drawing. As a matter of fact, I've got 12 ink drawings piled up here now. I'm going to have to make a video showing them off and do an art show video for these 12. But yeah, I've been enjoying working large lately, so there you go. You guys have a good week out there.